My name's Neil Dixon. I'm the archivist here at the Watt Library. Being an archivist essentially means I'm in charge of the historic records of Inverclyde and the council as well. So it's my job to preserve and make accessible these records and ensure they're available to researchers and the public for essentially as long as we can. So one of the good things we have for family history research are the censuses that happen in Scotland. So we've got census information from 1841 right up until 1901, and the great thing about this is the majority of these are indexed here at the Watt Library. So if you are looking for a specific name, we should be able to help you with your inquiry very, very, very quickly. And a good thing about coming down to the library as well, we also have free access, if you're a member of the library, to Ancestry.com, which is a really good resource for, again, looking at records out with the area and trying to trace your family tree. Another source of information we have are OPRs, and what OPRs are, they're old parish registers, and these essentially let you know who got married, in what year, when someone died, and when someone got born as well. So essentially registers of births, marriages and deaths, and we've got these on microfilm going back to the 17th century up until around about 1855, I think. So again, a really, really good resource to have, because tracing your family tree really gets hard once you get kind of pre-1850, because information starts to become a bit more vague and a lot of things don't get recorded as well. So OPRs are another good resource. We have valuation rolls, which we have on the table here. So valuation rolls are a great way of finding out where someone lived. So if you come to us and you know the address where someone lived in the area, we can probably find out to confirm if that person lived in a specific place. And essentially what valuation rolls do are they list the proprietor of a property and the tenant as well. And if it's a very good valuation roll, it will list the occupation that one of these people had as well. But the most important thing about valuation rolls are they can stretch pre-1850, but even more importantly, these happen in between the 10-year gaps of a census as well. So if you're looking for, say, the address of someone in 1904, a census might not confirm that because it's produced every 10 years, whereas a valuation roll fits into these small gaps and you can kind of trace quite specifically if the person you're looking for lived in a specific residence. The other thing we also have are official records, and this is primarily archive material. So we have a lot of local government archival material as well. So a great thing about this is this includes things like old town council minute books. So for example, we've got minute books that stretch back in Greenock right into the 18th century. And again, these are great for maybe picking up important names in the area as well that you might just not be able to trace. And again, these are one-off unique records that we only really hold here at the archive and the library. So, and a good thing about this is boiler records are usually included in local government records. So we have a good relationship with both the registrars and the crematorium. So if you are looking for maybe to find out where one of your ancestors was buried, by combining the services we have here in the council, you should hopefully be able to find that information as well. We've got a really good strong selection of historic maps as well. So this ranges from ordnance survey maps to kind of town and council planning maps. And these again stretch back into the 19th century and sometimes into the 18th century as well. And these are a really good resource for kind of looking how towns in the area developed and for identifying streets as well, because as with any sort of development in the area, some streets exist and then they'll get demolished and then a new street will replace it. So it's good for family history, as it allows people to really identify where a certain person lived in Inverclyde as well. Another source of information we have in the Watt are post office directories, and they're again one of the most consulted resources we have in the library. They're very, very useful, mainly because they do list where a person lived and their address, and sometimes also their occupation as well. So if you have a year in mind and you're looking to try and find a family member within that year, by looking at a post office directory. Again, they're very, very well indexed, so really done in alphabetical order with regards to surnames. You can usually find who you're looking for within a specific period. And the other great thing about them is they have really, really good strong indexes as well, and appendices, sorry. And these appendices will list kind of all the major societies that are happening in the area for that year. And it will list, for example, who the president was, committee members, secretaries, treasurers as well. So you may find your ancestor was involved in a society you didn't even know they were part of. And again, the great thing about this is, although we do hold records of clubs and societies in the archive, we don't have all the records of clubs and societies historically. So they're really good for finding out information on people who may have been within these societies in a specific year as well. And these directories run from around about 1840 right up until 1950s, 60s. And the good thing about these is these are available online for people to view and download as well, and as are all of our indexes as well. So if you can't come to us, then the great thing is you can come to us via the council website and download some really good information to get you started on your family history quest. And the last thing we do have is a really, really good strong collection of local newspapers on microfilm. And again, these are one of our most consulted resources because think about the times that even you, on a very, very small instance, were mentioned in a local newspaper. And if you're looking for someone, we've got a really good strong index of our historic newspapers, stretching back to the 19th century. And again, these will record intimations, so again, births, marriages, deaths. And so through the newspapers for all areas of Inverclyde as well, we should be able to find hopefully a name that you can relate to in your family very, very easily through the historic newspapers we have.